one of the most important parts of emotional connection is obviously establishing a storyline between the two of you. So even if you're two individuals and you may experience two different emotions, the storyline between the two of you should be the same.
Yeah, for example, I would want to be in maybe a club where she's having a dinner date. So her action or my action to her reaction is not going to make sense.
Within emotional connection, a very important part of that is action-reaction, as Dylon was saying. So if you have a storyline that makes sense to the both of you, obviously whatever he will give me, I will react in return, and vice versa. So we're going to break down the little exercise for you, and we're just going to make up our own storyline to what we feel, yes?
Yeah.
And within that storyline, I will establish my emotions and my feelings and my action, and Dylon will do the same. And a story filled with a variety of emotions. You don't want, a samba is just, a party dance.
Yeah.
So let's just celebrate.
Have fun.
Yeah. You can mix it up. Same with rumba. A rumba story doesn't always have to be in love. It can be.
I don't.
It can be jealousy. It can be passion. I think the best way to bring emotion out is by telling a story that's personal to you.
Yeah.
Yes. So even if his personal experience might not be the same as my personal experience, within our storyline we can still share those emotions, those personal emotions. With that being said, that's what draws an audience into your partnership.
So the storyline I like to use is me basically, I'm the school dude and I've spotted my chick for the night and I'm going to town, so I need to try and impress her. So my storyline, or the part of the story that I bring, is I'm the guy who needs to get the chick. My goal, I'm not leaving this club without getting what I wanted. So I now need to impress Marcella. I need to get her blood flowing. So I'm just not gonna go there and be like, hey, wanna dance? So I need to put on a show. So I'll be like, hey.
And now the more sincere his action is, the more honest my reaction will be, yes? So that's why it's very important to do something you personally can relate to, because that brings out the truest form of emotion within you, yes? So naturally I just reacted because he demanded quite a lot of my attention. So if he's going to demand a lot of my attention, I will naturally react to him, yes? So it's my reaction.
Yes.
Now we see what happens. Now he's got my reaction, now what?
Now you gotta chase her because she's interested, because she reacted. Your guys might be different. She might not react. Your partner might not react. In this case, I was lucky, okay? Now I'm like, would you like to come? So now I'm inviting her into my space, but she's now turning a blind eye.
I could be unsure, yes? So here I could be feeling a little unsure, or I could be playing hard to get. Depending on whatever emotion you choose should then bring out a certain reaction in your body, yes? So if I'm unsure, I'm not going to be, in this case I'll play hard to get. So if I'm playing hard to get, I can be a little bit of flirtatious and maybe entice him a little bit more, yes?
Yeah, and then at this point I'm obviously disappointed. So I'm like, actually I'm going to run away and just leave this chick alone. Because now I'm wasting my time. Because she got my attention, I'm giving it to her, and then she doesn't want it. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want it anymore.
Oh, I'm going to have to work a little bit, yes, and let him know, no, come back. Where are you going? Yes? So I can do something like that.
And that's when I'm like, hey, wait a minute. There's a chance. Because she came back. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to invite you.
Now, I can choose to accept, or I can choose not to accept, because this is a move that you can do connected, physically connected, or rather just more of an emotional connection. So if I choose to accept, we physically connect and then follow through, yes? If I choose not to accept, I can obviously maybe do oh no, just kidding, but carry on.
Yeah. And
but
at that
follow
point,
me either way.
Yeah, yes? And at that point I'm like, okay, cool, you're not ready to touch my hand yet, but now you got me. Lot.
So something like that could be symbolic of trust. Maybe I am not ready to trust him just yet.
So from here, you've decided.
I've decided I'll
gonna take my
his
hand. Yeah, I'm feeling lucky. So I'm letting it in. I'm like, okay, I've got a secret for you. And now we're just having a conversation. I'm like, hi, how are you? Would you like to get to know me a bit better? Or don't you want to?
Yes, and it could be a moment of playfulness. So it could be a moment of, like Dylon said, a conversation where you're both just neutral, having a discussion. It could be a moment of more flirting, maybe a lot more flirting, so a little bit more of a playful moment. It's more of a rhythmical step. It can be a little more playful and flirty.
Or I could take this moment to either play and be, okay, cool, let's have a conversation, let's simmer down, let's converse. Or I can take this opportunity to be again, hello, I'm here, I'm the guy, this is who you want to be with. All depends on what story you want to create.
And something like that will also determine now energy changes and levels of energy. So, for example, like Dylon said, if he's going to choose, or if we decide to choose a conversation that's a little bit calmer, then the step and the energy we'll put into the step will be danced a lot calmer. Whereas if he's going to boast, it's going to be something more show-offy and playful, then we'll put a little bit more energy into a step like that. It will create a lot of dynamic and energy change. So not only will now the dynamics be with the physical needs and the allowing and shaping needs, but it will also now be with the emotion. I had a conversation and maybe I didn't really like the conversation we had. Maybe I wasn't a fan of what he said. I could be now almost seeing past him and trying to maybe get away from him. But he's now demanding my attention, so he's drawing me back into him. And I could be like, okay, I'm giving you a second chance now. Show me what you got. Let's have a better conversation.
Yeah, and my attitude then to her rejection is, okay, cool, you're rejecting me, but you came back, so there's still hope. So now I'm going to follow you and force a conversation. Yeah.
But now I've decided I'm going to take the reins a little bit. Yes? So because he's been pursuing me the whole night and he keeps putting me back and keeps demanding for my attention, you know what? I want the roles to be reversed a little bit. So now it's my turn where I can bring him in. Yes? And whether he chooses to follow, it's up to him.
So I have no choice but to follow her to see where it takes me. Because, hey, I'm along for the ride now. She got me hooked.
So now from here, obviously it's something very side by side. So it's something, it could be something harmonious, something that you've decided to do together. Yes? Or it could be, for example, maybe I'm letting my best friends know at the club, hey guys, listen, I'm just with this guy for a moment, going to get to know him, going to see where the night takes me, sort of a thing. Yes? So I've decided, cool, I'll let them know. This is where I can connect with an audience member who can be one of my girlfriends, yes, one of my friends. So I can let them know, but then I'm still just making sure, hey, I'm here.
I'm going for it. So I'm doing everything now I have left in my power to keep my attention on her, also realizing how more beautiful and how much more I want her, so I'm going to pay more attention to her, not caring if she's not paying it to me. Yeah? So I would then, in this case, then look, slowly, I would watch her, slow down, maybe even get a bit of something else, keep on looking at her, and that will be the case. Yeah?
So it could be a moment of checking out, maybe.
Yeah. Lastly, I I then just decided, look, enough is enough. So from the slow one, I could be like, okay, I'm checking you out. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm definitely going with this girl. Yeah? And this is me taking her and she accepting.
So something like that, for example, he's now showing me maybe that I can trust him. Yes? So because he's shown me, because he's now really taken the reins, he's really shown me, girl, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, you can trust me, I've now decided to accept, I give in, and then we see where the story takes.
Yes, so
yes?
Basically that's our story. We obviously broke it down for you guys.
And this was obviously for Cha-Cha, yes? So obviously...
Yeah, the story will change.
Yes, and like I said, like we said, even though Cha-Cha in general is a playful dance, there was still, we had expressed emotions of uncertainty or emotions of trust. So even though it's a fun, playful dance, you want a roller coaster of emotions. You don't want something to just be playful.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So you want to create that different dimension, those different levels.
Yeah, and in doing so, this is what you need as a couple for an audience member, for example, to be drawn into your story. So having an emotional connection with your partner is what we find works best for drawing an audience member into our story and whatever we decide to create.
Yes, so you want to picture an emotional bubble and physical bubble around you and your dance partner. And anything that happens physically or emotionally happens between that bubble, between the two of you. And that's what will draw the audience member into your bubble. So you want to bring them and invite them into your bubble to experience whatever it is, or to at least feel whatever it is you are experiencing or feeling, and whatever story you're telling. A lot of the time, people only dance to the audience, that they completely neglect their partner, but that actually has far less effect on an audience member than what it would have if you just focused on your partner and every now and then acknowledged an audience member. Internalizing your movements is a lot stronger than having vast, big, external movements that require too much energy. Sometimes for an audience sitting right in front of you, that may be very overwhelming. Whereas if you're a lot more controlled, a lot more internal and focused within yourselves, it causes the audience to be drawn in towards you. Yeah. With the TV screen or through a camera lens, we find that it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Obviously, you still want to maintain the connection with your partner. However, for a camera, you want to almost externalize your movements to make them a lot bigger.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want, for example, when we're running through, we would have to externalize it, kind of inviting the camera or inviting the audience into our world.
So very important with the camera especially is to make eye contact with the camera. So even though it may feel awkward or uncomfortable, you almost want to dance to the camera, into the camera, as if the camera is an audience member. Yes? So the energy, for example, will be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
The movements will be bigger. The expressions will be more dramatic. Because there's something in between you and the audience, it needs to be or feel almost a bit overdone in order to keep them intrigued and interested, even through a screen.
Okay guys, so that is the end of our lecture. Yes, we hope that this gives you more insight to something that is so important, or that we feel is so important to us. So we really hope that this has given you more information so that you guys can go back and try and implement exactly the same into your own dancing.
And make it your own as well, and make it personalized and tailored to you guys as a partnership.
Yes, so thank you very much, and that is our lecture.